Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Michelle Spieler, 30-year pro makeup artist, creator of Mature Makeup Masterclass, and I'm so glad you're here. Last Saturday, I did a whole video on consumerism, and so I want you to go watch that. It's not that it was like, it didn't go viral. It's not like 100,000 people viewed it, but the 2,000 of you that viewed it and commented shows me I have the pulse of what's going on right now on social media and the society. People are sick of consumerisms. They're sick of influencers. So I'm done with all of that. I had a long, constructive conversation with my my agency today, and I said, I can't do the influencer thing anymore. I'm done. And they're like, good. People are rejecting influencers. Just be your 30-year pro makeup artist. Be that person, because that's what people want. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And I'm not going to feel pressure anymore to be the little monkey performing for everyone. From now on YouTube, I only talk about what I want to talk about. And frankly, that's all I've ever really talked about anyway. I can count on one hand how many sponsored posts that I've had. Now, I will say that my first 2 years, maybe my first year and a half, my first 2 years on YouTube, I clicked sponsored on so many of my videos because I accepted PR. And I thought that meant, because they said if anything is in the video, doesn't matter if you're being paid or not, if you received anything and it's in the video, you have to click sponsored. So I did. I didn't want my channel to get shut down. So you're going to see a ton of my old videos say sponsored. They're not. The only thing that's ever been sponsored is Lily Silk, Teddy Blake handbag, Merit Beauty, which was like in July or August, and I love Merit Beauty, and Nira Laser. That's it. 4. Maybe there was a 5th one from a long, long time ago. That's it. Those are the only videos that are sponsored on the entire history of my channel. So if you see anything that says sponsored, like my friend Leah's, French face concealer, I put sponsored because she gave me the concealer, but she didn't pay me to talk about it. Nobody pays me to talk about anything on this channel, and that's how it's going to be going forward. So anything I talk about here, I talk about as a 30-year expert, as someone who's 57, as a longtime makeup artist that has worked with not only women, but men. Men have tricky skin too. And skincare is number one. If you want your makeup to be prettier, skin first, then makeup. Skin first. And so many of you send me testimonials every single week telling me for the first time in your life, you're really working on your skin. And you know what that shows me? Again and again and again, our skin is so resilient. If you put time and attention, maybe a little bit of money into it, doesn't have to be expensive, but if you invest in your skin, you can reverse a lot of sun damage. You can reverse a lot of crepey skin. You can reverse a little bit of texture. It just takes work. And those who aren't willing to put in the work are like, well, it's too late for me. Or some of you just assumed it's too late for you until you actually started investing time into your skin. And you've seen the difference. And that makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. Skin is my favorite. Ever since I got my first bottle of oil of Olay, where is it? Where's my oil of Olay? It's over here somewhere. Anyway, I got a bottle. Here it is. I had to show you this. I got this on Etsy because this is what started it all. My grandma would keep this on her nightstand with all her little Avon perfume bottles. Remember, like one was a school desk and one was an apple, and really fun. Avon had the funnest perfume bottles. And then she would keep her beautiful bottle of oil of Olay on her nightstand. And of course it was glass. Right? It's glass. Can you see that? It's glass. And it smelled so good. And it smelled, when I'd kiss my grandma, I could smell oil of Olay on her skin. Of course, it's before we knew fragrance was bad for us. It still smells good. There's a little bit of an old vintage tint to it, but it smells so good. It still smells like oil of Olay. I had to have it. I found it on Etsy. This has a Walgreens. It says Walgreens for $3.49, so I think this might be from the 90s. 4 fluid ounces for $3.49. And it even came with a little tiny gift with purchase. It must have been like a holiday set. So this is what started it. I started using oil of Olay every single night of my life at 16 years old. And even in college, I remember waking up in the morning, like after a party, and kind of vaguely remembering even how I got home, and I would wake up with a squeaky clean face and always oil of Olay. Always washed my face, oil of Olay. I don't remember using this in the daytime. I might have, but I don't remember. But this was my nighttime ritual, okay? So when I tell you that I have been obsessed with skincare since a young age, then my mom was obsessed with Estee Lauder. And my parents didn't have a lot of money growing up, but my mom did her own hair color at home most of her life so she could afford advanced night repair or any type of tightening cream. She loved Estee Lauder. Okay, number one question I was asked on my video about, are you under the influence? Are you buying into consumerism? The number one thing I was asked is, could you please do an updated skincare regimen? So right now, I'm gonna do a quick daytime. And remember, like every day I might vary things a little bit, just depending on my mood or what my skin looks like. Your skin is not the same every single day, okay? Just like you don't eat the same food every single day, unless you're my husband and he's on the spectrum, so he likes having that rigid, you know, knowing what to expect every single day. He likes that. But most people don't eat the same food. They crave variety. Our skin can kind of be the same way. We can stick to a regimen, and it's good to, because sometimes your skin gets a little too used to it. And sometimes you need to interject something that's going to shake it up a little bit, okay? So this is why I, you know, depending on my mood, depending on how my skin feels, I might shake it up a little bit. Okay, number one, I like to wash my face in the shower in the morning, just to make sure my eyes are nice and clean. I like that feeling. But if I do wash in the shower, I use the most gentle cleansers imaginable. And I'm going to show you two versions. And today I'm going to show you budget and a higher end. I love this Ilia in the morning. Sometimes I use it at night after a double cleanse, but it's called a cloud, and it feels so good. It's light as a feather. It just has this nice soapy smell. I just love the soapy smell it has. And it just washes away and leaves the most soft skin. So I love this Ilia Cloud Cleanser. But one that I bought recently, it was viral on TikTok for months before I bought it. And the only reason I didn't buy it is because I'm like, I have so much skincare. Even though this is super affordable, I just don't need one more thing. But you know what? I had to buy it because I like to give women really affordable options. And that is the Prequel. And I love that it has an eczema seal of approval. This is the Prequel. It's developed by Dr. Sam. She's a dermatologist on TikTok and Instagram. She's out of San Francisco. And this is the Glycerin cleanser. It's literally called non-drying glycerin cleanser for face and body. Oh, I didn't even know it was for body. That's probably why it's so big. This thing is huge. This is like, I don't know, 8 ounces? Wait, let me see. 13 ounces for $17.99. And when I tell you one pump on clean skin is almost too much, I'm not kidding. One pump at night's great, but one pump on clean skin, like you have to really, 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 really splash it away, or little remnants can be left because glycerin likes to cling to the face. It's a great humectant. $17.99 for 13 ounces. You will probably have this for a year if you use it just for face. If you use it for body, of course, you'll go through it quicker. Excellent. What I like about this for all skin types, including oily, is when you rinse it away, because of the glycerin, you are going to have the most hydrated, bouncy, just beautiful skin. So you could probably just use this, maybe a hydrating serum or an essence, and if you're oily, go straight into your SPF. If you're dry skin, especially in winter, you might want to do a cleanser, an essence or serum, or both, a moisturizer, an SPF, but you don't have to do that many layering, because when you have a cleanser that really hydrates the skin, and then we'll get to essence in a minute, and it really hydrates the skin, I find some days I'm actually skipping moisturizer, especially because nowadays so many of the K-Beauty SPFs are a moisturizer with, like, they're an SPF, but they have pure skincare ingredients. So you don't need both. Everything's just gonna slide off your face, okay? So that's Prequel. Okay. I do like to exfoliate in the shower. You know that I love the Sonia Roselli Sexapeel, which I didn't bring down here. But since I've been committing to peels lately, I haven't been using the Sonia Roselli Sexapeel in the shower as much. And if I do use it in the shower, it's always on dry skin. So you wouldn't wash it and then use Sexapeel. What I do when I hop into the shower and I just feel like I need a little exfoliation is I skip the cleansing, but I'll put the Sexapeel on my face, rub it all over. And then as I splash my face and I massage my eyes, it's cleaning my face, even though it's just an exfoliator. I also love the Paula's Choice, the Mandelic, 5% Mandelic. So I don't use that the same day as a Sonia Roselli Sexapeel, but I might take a bottle of the Mandelic and put it on a cotton pad and swipe my face real quick. One, Mandelic helps with sunspots and melasma, and two, it sweeps off any dead skin off my surface so that I get just a beautiful makeup application. Okay, anytime you think you can see things balling up a little bit, sometimes it's products aren't mixing, like maybe you have a silicone in a water and they're not mixing, and so the silicone balls up, and then sometimes it's the silicone balling up with dead skin, and sometimes that can happen when we rub a brush on our face. It's almost like we're exfoliating our face with the brush, so we have to be really careful, okay? All right, so I washed my face. I came down here. Now, I feel kind of hydrated, but I also feel like I'm getting a little dry and tight. I always do my skincare the minute I get out of the shower, because your skin is already like a sponge. But for the sake of not being right out of the shower, I'm going to mist my face. And you can do this too. You can mist your face with just a beautiful water. It could be Evian, it could be Avin, it could just be your own spray bottle that you put filtered water in, but you want that damp skin. I did use a little bit of SK1 when I got out of the shower, because this is an essence that has a fermented soy in it. So it's really great at, it's actually really great. The patera in here, it helps to like exfoliate a little bit, but it also is an anti-aging ingredient. And they found with the workers in this soy factory that their hands were like reverse aging, and it was because they were using this fermented soy, so they put it in SK2. Very expensive, so I'm not telling you to go get this, but this is usually my first thing I use when I get out of the shower. A more affordable version, but it's a little bit thicker, is the Numbzn, and I've talked about this before, but this is also a fermented essence, a fermented glowy essence. So anyone can use this instead of this. You wouldn't necessarily use those together, but I think this is about 20 bucks, definitely under 25, and this is like 100. So do you see what a great difference? So if you were oily, you could wash your face, use this, and possibly go right into SPF. If you're dry, you could wash your face, use this, maybe use another serum or a really nice moisturizer, wait a few minutes, and then do your SPF. Always wait a few minutes for your skincare to absorb before putting on SPF, because that can cause the balling up. Also, wait a few minutes again after you put your SPF on, because if your SPF is just put on and it hasn't set yet and you put makeup over it, that can cause it to ball up and move around. So we have to let things to kind of dry down and set before we can go to the next step. So I realize a lot of you are in a rush. Go get a cup of coffee. Go get dressed. Brush your teeth. Like, do something to kill a few minutes of time between steps, okay? Another really, really great serum, I've talked about this before. I don't even know how to pronounce this, but I'll put it in, I'll put a link in there, for you. I got this on Amazon. Tons of top estheticians I follow on TikTok love this. It's like a top selling serum. I haven't used very much of it, but it has 4 different types of hyaluronic in it. So it has different molecular weights of hyaluronic acid, and it's really nice. It's really nice, and it's kind of thick, but not like stringy like a snail mucin. Like you wouldn't need this and snail mucin. So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna use a little of this right now because I just want you to see what it looks like. Always take it down your neck. Okay, now, if I'm not using that, then 100% of the time I'm using the Sonia Roselli Water Prep. This is like my 3rd bottle in a year. I go through a little bit quicker because I use it morning and night. I love this. This gives you bouncy skin, okay? So you wouldn't use everything else. You could just come out of the shower and put this straight on, and it's gonna give you that bouncy skin, that wet sponge you need to absorb the next layers, okay? So I let this kind of, one thing I like about Sonia Roselli, it's not K-Beauty. Her Sexapeel is K-Beauty, but her whole line is made in Japan, and Japan has a kind of a higher standard for skincare than even K-Beauty. None of Sonia Roselli's skincare ever feels sticky on me. I think I talked about Tear Essence a couple months ago. It stays sticky even until the end of the day. My makeup's sticky, it's sticky, so I really don't use Tear anymore. I just put this on, and when I tell you, when I feel that kind of stickiness, usually that doesn't really go away. So I never get stickiness with Sonia Roselli. It gives you that bouncy skin without any stickiness, and that's why I love her. So really, most days, I'm trying to tell you, most days I just use Sonia Roselli, but I always use my One Skin. So I'm gonna use my One Skin right now. I do about 2 pumps. This I use instead of a vitamin C. Now, if you love vitamin C, I am not trying to talk you out of a vitamin C, not at all. And One Skin is very expensive, okay? And the reason why is because this was 4 years in the lab. 4 female scientists came up with a special peptide that's in here called OS1 peptide. That's the patented peptide name. It stops senescent cells. If you've ever had a basket of fresh berries and the next morning you notice, one in the corner had mold and now everything around it started to grow that fuzzy mold, that's what senescent cells are. If you have a senescent cell, all the cells around the senescent cell are going to become senescent cells, and then more and more, and that's what induces aging quite quickly. They're called zombie cells for a reason, because they multiply, and so this stops that process. So I've been using this in place of my vitamin C, and then often at night I'll use this in place of my retinol or retinaldehyde or tretinoin. Because when you see the histology slides of retinol versus this actually plumps up the skin's surface and the skin barrier and the integrity of the skin even better than retinol in just 5 days. So I love One Skin, but I'm letting you know right now, this is pricey, and I never want you to feel like you have to have this, but I love it. I've been using it almost every day of my life since June. And then also the One Skin Eye. Again, these are treatments. This is not a moisturizer. This is a treatment because of the OS1 peptide, which goes in and it plumps. It can help brighten the skin. So it does a lot of the things a vitamin C does. I always do it on my upper lip. It does a lot of the things a vitamin C does, and it does a lot of things that a retinol does. So that's why I use those as treatments. Okay. Then I personally love this because this is the way Sonia Roselli designed it. You use your water essence and then you use the water oil, and even oily people can use this. It's water and oil mixture. But when you see the beautiful 1 pump only, if you have normal to oily skin, combo skin, I'll usually do 2 pumps because I like it all over my whole face. I'm a little bit more normal to dry, especially in the winter. But it creates this beautiful surface texture that really prepares your skin for beautiful makeup application. Okay, now Sonia Roselli does not have an eye cream yet. She's working on one. But I've been loving this Shiseido Benefiance because it's rich and it's pearly. There's like this beautiful luminous pearl in it. So it's so pretty under skincare. I mean, under concealer. Okay, I ran real quick and got the Sexapeel, and I also got the Paula's Choice 6% Mandelic. It also has lactic acid, which is gentle. This lasts about 6 months if you use it every day, and I don't use it every day, so it lasts me longer. And then I use Sexapeel in the shower every morning for 9-10 months, maybe almost a year, and it lasts a really long time. Okay. One thing too, a lot of people know about Go Pure. They're really popular on TikTok. It's this neck cream where women will show these amazing before and afters, and you're like, does that really work? But I bought it. I got it on sale on TikTok Shop because I kind of wanted to prove to women that it doesn't really work that great. But you know what? I think it might. And the esthetician reached out to me and she's like, Michelle, use very little. Don't use too much. A little goes a long way. A little works better, like the size of a pea. And you always want to put it on damp neck skin. Never put it on dry. Put it on damp neck skin. And you know what? I have to tell you, I think it does. I used it 5 weeks before I talked about it. Tighten and Lift Neck Cream. It has some kind of butter, some kind of, I don't know, it's all natural. Caffeine, hyaluronic acid. I don't know. If you like a neck cream, a lot of people will say, oh, just take your skincare down your neck. And that's true. But there are ingredients that are made for necks that you're not allowed to put on your face. It's not, certain ingredients might not be approved for the face or around the eye, but it's approved for body. And so that's why sometimes neck creams do work. I'm not an affiliate for them. I'm just letting you know that I've used it for 5 weeks and I like it. Okay. Okay, now let's see. We're going to talk more cleansing tonight. I'll come back tonight and talk about more cleansing. I think that's it so far. Okay, now I will go in. Ooh, I'm almost out. I will go in with my Sonia Roselli Water Balm. This is one of the best moisturizers I've ever used in my life. You know, I always loved Tatcha Dew Cream. This has replaced Tatcha Dew Cream for a year. It has a built-in primer in it. Sonia used to be a makeup artist. Well, I mean, she still is a makeup artist, but she's a fascinating woman. And she has real high standards. And I'm so happy I met her because it's the best skincare I've ever used. So I like the Water Balm because it's super juicy and hydrating for oily skin, and yet super juicy and hydrating for dry skin. And I absolutely love it. I absolutely love that, okay? And then my #1 SPF, and I have some nice SPFs I'm gonna talk about in my masterclass in January, but my favorite SPF of all time is Naked Sundays. 100% collagen, it's SPF 50, and I'm gonna show you why, because I'm gonna put it on half my face. So I'll put that on in a minute. I just want to recap because I know this is probably clear as mud to some of you and might seem overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. So in the morning, you're going to wash your face with a gentle cleanser, okay? Just wash your face. I'll even put these steps in the description. Wash your face. Now, some of you who are dry and you don't want to wash your face, at least splash it with some like warm water or lukewarm water because you want to dampen your skin and wash away anything that might be on your face from sleep. We can, seep from the eyes, from the mouth, just wash it all away with just plain water if you need to. Then I highly recommend going in with an essence, okay? See how watery this is? See how this is not watery? This is more mucousy. You always want to go from watery to thickest with all your skincare. You start with the thinnest formulas, and then you can do a thicker serum, and then you can do a thicker moisturizer, but you always go from thinnest to thickest. So I always do this right out of the shower first, Sometimes I really love doing SK2 before it. This is even more, like this is a milky toner and this is clear, so I'll do this and then this. I'm not telling you you need both steps, I'm just extra, okay? But if I didn't know about SK2 and I didn't know about the fermentation, I would just get it out of the shower and just use this, which is what I did for almost a year. I kind of just started using SK2 again. I forgot I had it. Okay, then if you really like juicy, plump skin, you could go in with a hyaluronic acid, or you could go in with like a water oil, okay? But before you start getting thicker, that's when your treatments will go on. So I use One Skin as my treatment. This is not a moisturizer. I use this as my treatment. So you might want to use vitamin C. They always say put vitamin C on first on cleansed skin. You can absolutely do that. You can do vitamin C before your essence, but some people even say you could do your essence first and then your vitamin C because it can kind of buffer it a little bit. Some people can't wear vitamin C. So that's totally up to you, okay? So I do my treatment, then I'll go in with some water oil, my very, very favorite. You could even go in with a snail mucin if you wanted something a little thicker and bouncier. And then I go in with my Sonia Roselli water balm. Many people have asked if there is a drugstore dupe for this. And one, you know, I hate that word dupe, but two, I've never found anything like this water balm. Nothing, especially something that works equally well on oily and dry skin. I've never felt anything like this. I know that Tatcha makes a water cream that's kind of similar because it's Japanese. This is Japanese, but that's expensive. So I think this is more affordable. Not telling you you have to buy Sonia Roselli, but I will put her links if you want to try anything, okay? And then now we've talked long enough. I'm going to go in with always 2 finger lengths. Look how chunky and thick that is. 2 finger lengths of SPF. If you're not doing that much SPF, you're not doing enough. And I want you to watch why I love this, because it's going to make my skin look like it's just perfect skin. It's kind of amazing. It kind of floods my flaws. It lightens any freckles or sunspot. It tones down any pink. Of course, if I was going out today and I'm not, I would put far more than that on my neck, and whatever's left over, I'll put on the back of my hands. But I'm not even going out anywhere today. I might pick up dinner later. But look at that. Do you see how that kind of made my skin look more even? I've literally gone places with just this and a little eye makeup and brows, and people, young people even comment on my skin, and it's this. I mean, yes, I work hard on my skin, but close up at 57, there's sunspots, there's freckles, there's little broken capillaries, there's little blotchy redness here just from years of sun damage. This kind of floods it out, okay? But it's thick, it's 100% mineral, it's thick, and you can go on their website because they do make some deeper tinted ones, but this is the one I love for me. Okay, I will be back tonight when I take all my makeup off, and I'm going to show you how I do that. But one thing I want to say before I go, you don't need any of this unless you need it, okay? You don't have to invest in the whole Sonia Roselli line at once. You can buy one piece here, one piece there. Or maybe you want to go get a great cleanser because you're low on cleanser. Get a cleanser. But you don't need 5 cleansers. You don't need 5 moisturizers. Start using up what you have before you buy anything that I talk about, because we're going to really edit. And 2025 is going to be the year that we're going to edit our beauty, which is skincare and makeup. We're going to get really smart about what we purchase, what we put on our face, and what we choose to replenish and keep in our life. And we're only going to buy things that suit us, okay? And that goes for me too. I mean, I have massive amounts of PR. I have 40 brands of skincare. I have Skin Fix. I have Colleen Rothschild. I have Educated Mess, which I do quite like. I have Dr. Dennis Gross. I have Tatcha. I have Caudalie. I have Elemis. I have Clarence. I have Revive. I have Dende. I have Odysite or Audacity. I have Vichy. I have PMR. I have Glow Recipe. I have In Beauty. I have Supergoop. I have Estee Lauder. I have Lancome. I have Clinique. I have Charlotte Tilbury. I have, oh, what's this? Skin Stat. I mean, I have massive amounts of skincare, but for 1 year, I've used Sonia Roselli religiously because it's given me the prettiest skin of my life. And when you guys buy it and then you send me a photo, or even just maybe you're not one to take photos, but you'll send me a testimonial that your husband or your friends, someone in your life has noticed such a difference in your skin and you feel more beautiful. Listen, that nothing I've tried has had that many testimonies. That's why I love Sonia Roselli. But I realize not everyone can afford it, and I fully support that. I will always show you affordable options. They might not be as good as Sonia. They might not be as good as One Skin, because there is a different level of ingredients and formulations and research and development that goes into some of this. So that's why I love K-Beauty, because K-Beauty is generally so good, and it's so affordable, and it's really meant to plump and hydrate your skin. Now treatments, they don't do a lot of treatments. They're not into a lot of treatments. They're into like in-office treatments and good hydrating skincare. But in America, we push vitamin C for day, retinol or tretinoin for night. We push that a lot. And I'm not against those things, but they can be harsh and abrasive to a lot of people. And then you feel like a loser, like, what am I doing wrong? I've tried it every which way. And we all know our own skin best. We do. I am so tired of dermatologists pushing certain, that's another thing. I'll get a ton of emails from y'all and you'll say, oh, my dermatologist had me on this regimen or that regimen, and you didn't like your skin and it was too harsh, it was too aggressive, and so you switched to Sonia Roselli and you're like, my skin looks and feels so pretty. I'm telling you, dermatologists, and they're the new influencers. So don't think that they are not being paid heavily by all these brands to push skincare. And then you think, oh, it must be good. They're a dermatologist. Who paid for that? Not the dermatologist. I promise you. I know from my agency, because we have a lot of dermatologists at the agency I'm with, I know from my agency that more and more skincare companies are only hiring dermatologists, plastic surgeons, medical estheticians. They're only hiring people with a degree behind their name, and that's the new influencer. So be very careful who you listen to and what you buy, because they're all being paid, okay? But because they have a doctor, they seem reputable, and they are. I mean, a lot of them are really good, but I'm telling you, they're being paid to tell you what to buy. And it's not always good advice. It really isn't. Okay, I'll see you back tonight.
Welcome to my nightly double cleanse. So my favorite cleansing balm is the Perricone. It does not ever sting my eyes. It removes makeup so well, and it smells like the spa. But at the end, I have a budget-friendly one, so stay tuned. I massage it all in. I make sure to really get my hairline close to my temples and ears, and then I really massage it on the eyes carefully to remove eye makeup. And then I splash, and it becomes kind of milky, and I massage it in a little more, and then just really splash until it is all done. I will even take a microfiber cloth and make sure I wipe away any excess tubing mascara, excess residue. And then my second step, I'm using the Prequel cleanser. I told you how much I love this. One pump, and I go back in, massage it all over again, eyes, hairline, the whole face. And then when you rinse it, and you really have to rinse this well because it kind of clings to the face due to the glycerin. But after you rinse it, you will have the most bouncy, hydrated, clean skin of your life. I am the biggest believer in a double cleanse. Even if you don't wear a lot of makeup, it's very hard to remove SPF, and a double cleanse will remove it. Then I just pat dry, and we are ready for the following skincare. Now, if you're on a budget, Benillo, it's at Ulta, Korean, amazing, doesn't sting my eyes, I love it.
Okay, sorry. Double cleansing is just something you have to do at the sink. It can be really messy. It can take several minutes, but it just feels so good. You'll never ever feel cleaner, but never dry and tight. So that is what I do every single night of my life. And sometimes I use a cleansing oil, but pretty much cleansing balm is my very, very, very favorite. Okay. Now what I'll do is I will go in with a little bit of essence, about 2 pumps, and I'm going to let it dry for a little bit, go down my neck, because what I use almost every night in my life is I use Fade Bright by Platinum Skincare. I started using this because Jennifer, who owns Platinum, recommended this for anyone who's Fitzpatrick 4 or higher. She wants you to use this 2 to 3 weeks, twice a day before you do a peel, because it can help with PIH, post-inflammatory inflammation. That's not PIH. Post-hyperinflammatory inflammation. Okay, so I got this because I thought, well, if it works for Fitzpatrick 4, I want to start using this before a TCA peel, because I want to do my TCA peel correct. So I bought this in May, and I only use it once a day, but I noticed a huge difference within a few weeks. By June, all of my sunspots were so much lighter. The little tiny bit of melasma that forms on my forehead, and it kind of shows up a little bit in the summer, gone. Like, this is amazing. I also use Mandelic peels, but remember, my last Mandelic peel was April, and then I just recently did one on Facebook Live in September. So I don't do peels in the summer. So what I do is, now that my face is dry, I'm a little bit bouncy and tacky, but I'm dry. I'll do 2 pumps of Fade Bright. And that's it. I don't really need it on my neck, but I'll take it down my neck if I have any. But like, even this sunspot's so much lighter. These sunspots, everything's lighter. They're just more sheer. They're more light brown. They're really, really sheer. So this works great. And anyone that I've turned this on to has said, wow, it's a noticeable difference. So I'm not wrong about this. It's an incredible product. I've used it every night, or at least 5-6 nights a week since May. And I'm just to the end of this bottle, and I just bought a new bottle. So I have a new bottle. Now, if I want to go in with my OneSkin, they always say this should be the first thing on dry skin after you cleanse, but Fade Bright says this is the first thing on dry skin after you cleanse. And this does have a little bit of retinol in it, like a retinoic acid. So I use this first thing because this is more important to me. The reversing sun damage, lightening sunspots, this is more important to me. For cellular level and biological reversal of aging cells, I will wait a little bit and use this, and it'll be fine, because once this Fade Bright is really absorbed in, I can then go in with some OneSkin. I just like to wait, you know. Sometimes I'll go and do something, or I'll put on my jammies, or Gracie and I might watch like a little bit of TV, and then before I go to bed, I'll pop on the OneSkin. But for sake of this video, this is a new organic lash serum. There's no prostaglandin in this, so it doesn't cause orbital fat loss. It doesn't cause reddening of the eyelids. I noticed that anytime I went back to a lash serum that had the prostaglandin in it, then, am I saying that right? Prostaglandin. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. It's the ingredient that came from Latisse and then all these other companies copied suit. It does make your lashes really long and beautiful, but it also made my eyelids always look reddish brown. So people would think I had eyeshadow on and I didn't. It would sometimes make me a little itchy, but most importantly is you can hollow out all around your eye from using lash serums, and that is not worth it to me. So this is pretty popular on TikTok Shop. A doctor invented it. It's called New Organic. I use it every night. And when I put mascara on, I do have some pretty long lashes. So it does work. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with just 2 squirts of One Skin. Actually, I'm going to do 1 additional on my, and I kind of skip eye cream at night. I don't know, maybe I'm just kind of lazy. I know that seems crazy because I'm opposite of lazy. Okay, and then I'll maybe watch a little TV, or I'll sit in bed and read, or I might, you know, be on TikTok for 20 minutes or so. And then I keep this on my nightstand. I know that's so weird, but this is the Sonia Roselli Intense Barrier Cream. And when I know that this stuff is all really, really absorbed in, I lock it in with Intense Barrier Cream, and I keep it on my nightstand. And I don't even have to see what I'm doing. You can see I'm almost out. I just dig my finger in, go doot, 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 and rub it all in. A little goes a long way. It's very emollient. If you are normal to oily combo, you can just go right in with her beautiful water balm. Absolutely. But if you're drier, especially going into winter and we have forced heat and it can suck the moisture out of our skin, I do love her Intense Moisture Barrier. So there you have it. That is my night routine. I will also mention that for people who aren't quite ready to step up to a platinum skincare peel, Exuviance sent me these peels and I tried it one night and I'm like, whoa, this is like an esthetician peel at home. So this has 25% glycolic, it has mandelic acid, and it has PHA, which is a more gentle version of like an AHA. And you get 13 peels in here, 13 peels. So you could do 1 a week for 13 weeks, or they even say you could do twice a week. So that'll last you about 6 weeks, 6.5 weeks. But I want to show you this because I was really impressed. So they have the first peel. Obviously, you're going to do, you know, your cleanser and just not put any skincare on. Do your double cleanse, get nice and clean. And then you're going to do step 1. And it comes with a little pad and you rub it all over the face, not around eyes. And I avoid this soft membrane around our nose. And I don't go around eyes, but I do forehead, down the nose, chin, neck. And I leave it on for about 10 minutes. You can even leave it on 5 if you're newer to peels. And then the step 2 is you're going to take the neutralizer pad and you're going to go over all the same areas, and then you can follow up with a moisturizer. You will notice a little bit of flaking peeling like over the course of a few days, but nothing that is going to really ruin your makeup. But I'm really impressed with these. I want to say that this is, I think, $86 for a box of 13 peels. I mean, you can't even go to an esthetician for under $100. So for $86, you're getting 13 really solid peels. I'm really impressed. And from someone who comes from Mandelic 40 and lactic acid peel, and I'm doing a TCA Just Nurse peel in December, I'm pretty impressed with this. You can get this at Ulta, or you can just go straight to Exuviance. I'll put my link if you want to just click on that. But again, only if you need it. All of this, only if you need it. Don't buy extra stuff. Use up what you have. You know why? None of this is going anywhere. None of this is going anywhere. It's all here for you whenever you need it. It's not going anywhere. Nothing's on sale. Sonia Roselli does give you, I'll put it in the link, she does give you a discount when you're a first-time buyer through me, which I really appreciate. But all this other stuff, no sale, no sale. It's just there when you need it. And if you don't need it, then you don't need it. Use up what you have, okay? And save this video, and you can always go back and watch it. Or if you don't want to go back and watch it, just go back and click onto the description, and all the products I used will drop down, and you'll go, oh yeah, that was that essence that she liked, and click on that, and you can buy it when you're ready, or write it down. Some people still like pen and paper, or put it in the notes app on your phone. Something where you're like, oh yeah, I really like that. I think I'm going to get that, but I don't need it yet. Write it down. Of course, I don't know how to pronounce that. It's all in Japanese, but you know what I mean? Like, I really want you to need it. And then when you need it and you buy it and you love it, it feels so good. It feels so good to not be wasting money. I mean, look at all this. Look at it. Can you imagine? That's too much. And I have tons of it in this room, and I have tons in my bathroom. It's too much. It's too much. Nobody needs this much skincare, but I do it for you. I take one for the team. I know it seems like, wow, that's so cool. She has all of that. It comes at a price. It robs you of a little bit of peace. It does feel like a burden. You are really trying so hard to get to every brand that sends you stuff because you want to try it, and if you love it, you want to share it with your audience. You want the brand to be feel valued. You want the brand to feel like you're grateful. A lot of things I never talk about. A lot of PR you'll never hear me talk about. But if I love something, wow. Like, I was not expecting to love Sonia Roselli like I did, but I was like, whoa, my skin is so juicy, bouncy. This was sent to me. Now I've went on to purchase many of them with my own money, but this was sent to me in PR. What if I had never gotten to that and would never have known that that's my favorite sunscreen and how beautiful it is? These, I would have never, if I saw this at Ulta, I'd be like, I don't need that. I have platinum skincare. But because they sent this, I'm like, whoa, this is a great peel. It's a great peel for beginners, and it's even a great peel for peel people like me who love really professional peels at home. But this packed a punch. I was really impressed. So I'm just going to share what I love, and I hope that you love it too. Okay. Thank you so much. I love your ideas. I got so many good ideas in my Are You Under the Influence video. So I'll promise I'll keep going back into comments and doing a lot of videos from your ideas. But the number one was people really wanted to see an AM PM skincare regimen. And that's just fun for me because I do it every day of my life anyway. So it's low hanging fruit. I know it's a lot. If you're a beginner, trust me, you need to cleanse. You need to moisturize. You need SPF. That's it. That's it. If you're oily, you might just need cleanse, essence, SPF. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. If you wear a lot of makeup, always double cleanse. It's a game changer, okay? Always leave questions and comments. I'm always answering questions. I'm happy to help, and I love your testimonies, and I'll put all the links in comments just so you always know what to get when you need it, okay? Thank you. I love you. God loves you. Bye for now.